Hi guys. So obviously, first next up is the Ravens from this season previews. So we'll start with the coaching staff. Obviously, first, second coach. Obviously, they got John Harbaugh. Like he's a good head coach. He's won a Super Bowl. Like he's had a lot of good years. He's not going to be going anywhere anytime soon unless he wants to retire, which you never know. He has been coaching for a long time, as you can see. It's his 17th season. An offensive coordinator got Tom Monken. This is his second year with the Ravens. He was former Georgia offensive coordinator and QB coach from 2020 to 2022. Before that, obviously, he helped lead Lamar to his MVP. Like, the offense was great last year, so he's a good offensive coordinator. So, yeah. The defensive coordinator got the new one, Zachary Orr. It's his first year as their DC. He was their former Ravens linebacker coach. He was a former linebacker coach. He helped lead guys like Roquan Smith and Patrick Queen to great years last year. He was there for a couple of years. Honestly, though, they lost a really good one and a top head coach handed this past off season, and he left for Seahawks for their head coaching job. Like, there's a reason he got hired as one. He was one of the top candidates available, so he's gone. But they still have a lot of good players on the defense. So I doubt their defense still be terrible, but you never know because it's hard to know how much their defensive coordinator helped. So that was over. Let's go to their depth chart. First quarterback, obviously, got Demar. He's a reigning MVP for a reason. Like, he's one of the top quarterbacks in the league. Like, yeah, like he deserves to be starter. Like, promise behind him if he gets injured again, which he has dealt with injuries before. Like, not this last season he played, it was fine, but the previous 2 years he missed a lot of games, and they did not really have anybody. Like, they got Josh Johnson. He's not a. He's like, you never want him playing any snaps. Like, he's not that good. Like, he's old. He's just an older guy that can help develop some of the younger guys to get behind him, like Devin Leary. Like, he's a rookie. Like, he's not going to be that good either. So, like, you got Amy Jones, who's probably not going to make the roster. Like, yeah, so you better hope Lamar doesn't get injured because Tyler Huntley's gone, which showed some flashes as a backup when he had to start. But now that he's got, you don't really have many guys at backup, which isn't a huge deal, but still, injuries do happen. Just look at last year, a ton of quarterbacks got injured. Running back, got their big addition at running back. You got Derrick Henry. Like, their running back, they never had problems at running back lately. Like, ever since Lamar came, because like he's such a dual threat guy. Like, they have to worry about him too, which always helps the running backs. But like adding Derrick Henry, that's always scary. Like, read options, him and Lamar, watch out. And like, yeah, like Henry's getting loaded up there. I think he's like 29, 30, but because that's pretty old for running backs, but still, he's still good. Yeah. Behind him, we got Justice Hill. He's a good backup. Problem is, he's dealt with a lot of injuries. I feel like I just feel like he's been with Ravens forever. Though, so I still can't believe he's on the team. But still, like he would help to have guys in that running back room that don't have some injury history. Just because, yeah, but they'll still be fine knowing them because they always are fine at running back. It seems like. And him, yeah, Keaton Mitchell. He did really good as a rookie last year, but he got injured. Hopefully, he'll be back by week one, just because it helps to have that depth. Because they like to do running back by committee. We'll see if they do the same because they got Derrick Henry, obviously. So they haven't had a running back like Derrick Henry before. So we'll see. Then behind him, we got Rasheen Ali. He's a he's a good fourth. Like, as your fourth running back, that's pretty good. But yeah, that's about it. Like, he'll probably make the roster because they'll probably want to carry four running backs in the roster, or if not the practice squad, just because a lot of teams carry at least four running backs. My receiver, got Zay Flowers going to the second year. Did really good his rookie year. Outside of that Chiefs playoff game, just don't pay attention to that because he had some good catches. Problem is, he had that fumble I don't know. I'm not saying they would have won if it wasn't for that fumble that was almost a touchdown, but it definitely didn't help their chances of winning when that happened. But he's still good. He should have a great sophomore year. And if he doesn't, they're kind of screwed because you don't want him to have sophomore slump because you don't have a lot behind him. Like, a wide receiver. Like, you got Rashad Bateman, former first round pick. He's not good. He's okay. Like, yeah, like the only real reason these most teams you wouldn't want. He's okay number two, but he would love for him to be your number three because that'd be great. Behind him, we got Nelson Aguilar. He's okay, but he's getting up there. He's not as good as he used to be. Even then, he was never really that good. He was just all right. So yeah, get Devontae Walker. I think he's a rookie. Yeah, he's a fourth round rookie, so he'll probably show some flashes. Probably won't do a ton because he's a fourth round rookie. Like most first rounders, rookies don't do a ton as a rookie year. Some do, not most. So we'll have to see. But he's there as your fourth guy, according to this. Then behind him, we got Tylan Wallace. As your fifth wideout, that's fine, but you don't want him moving up your depth chart at all because he's another one of your guys you don't want playing at all unless like any meaningful snaps unless it's because obviously you don't care who plays if you're blowing out teams because yeah, like just look at the Ravens last year, they had blew out a lot of teams. Like there's a reason everybody thought they were Super Bowl favorites until they lost to the Chiefs in the conference championship last year. Like they'll be near there again this year. Then you also got Deontay Hardy. He's not a good receiver at this point. He's mostly just a good returner. Like that's what he did for. He has some big catches for the Saints when he played there, but like he has mostly like showed a lot of flash as a returner. So he'll probably make the team because of that. Then you got Keith Kirkwood. He probably won't make the team at most practice squad. They also got Malik Cunningham, a former quarterback that transitioned to wide receiver. I guess I forgot about that. So they might probably go on practice squad just because like he hasn't been a wide receiver for so long. So you never know. Like guys don't always do as good when they transition from a position right away. So they might give him a chance. The rest of these guys, they're not going to make the roster. Like maybe one of them makes a practice squad, but that's it. Tight end, got one of the top five tight ends in the league. Mike Andrews, like if he can, he's huge. Like he's a great tight end. Like he's a great receiver. He's a great blocker. Yeah, like behind him, he got probably one of the best number two tight ends, if not the best number two tight end in the league. Like to have a guy like Isaiah Likely who's still young and he did really good when Andrews went down last year. Like yeah, like a lot of teams, he probably would be the number one, but because they have a guy like Andrews, he isn't. Behind him, you got Charlie Coiler, another recent draft pick. He's okay. Like he's their third guy, so he probably won't play because unless Andrews likely gets injured, but because you don't really ever see three tight ends out a lot. And then we got Scotty Washington. He's not going to make the team. Like they're not going to carry four tight ends. So yeah, we don't really mention fullback a lot, but they got a pretty good fullback in Patrick Richard. Like he's one of the top fullbacks. So I know it doesn't say much because most teams don't carry fullbacks, and even the ones that do don't have good ones. Like the only notable ones I can think off the top of my head are him, Kyle Juszczyk for the Niners, and CJ Ham for the Vikings. That outside of that, like there isn't really anybody at fullback that does that much. The offensive line, that tackle, we got Randy Stanley. He's a great left tackle. Like he's him and your center Tyler Linderbaum. Those are a great one too. Problem is Stanley has barely played these last couple of years since he got an extension a few years ago. So it's just like, how healthy can he stay? But even if he does get injured, you wouldn't be great, but you still be right because Patrick McCarty's a good backup, so he can start. But obviously, you'd rather not have him. So he's a good backup, so he wouldn't be terrible, but still, he's obviously not nearly as good as Stanley, or he would be started somewhere. And behind him, we got Jalen Pearl. Is he a rookie? He's a rookie. He didn't get drafted, but I feel like a lot of people thought he would. He's just a developmental guy. Like he'd probably go on the practice squad because I doubt he'll make the roster, just because he was at UDFA for a reason. Like, yeah, left guard again, injured where he's he didn't play. He didn't. He was supposed to be high draft pick in 2023, but I think he tore his ACL at his USC is where like their combine thing at schools I can't think what it's called for some reason, but you know what I'm talking about. Yeah, like see, like or he's tore his ACL that last year, so that hurt his draft stock, which is part of the reason he fell to the seventh round. And like they took advantage. They pretty much last year was a redshirt year for him because he didn't play because he was injured. But we'll see what he does this year. He could be good. Behind him at left guard, he got Maluisia Amuvi Lowell. I doubt I probably butchered the name. Sorry, but yeah, he's got a long one and it's not easy to pronounce. He's okay. Like yeah, like if you get he's young. He's young too, isn't he? Yeah, he's another recent draft pick, so yeah, he's there. But like, I feel like between him and Voorhees, like they'll probably are battling out for this left guard job. But I feel like Voorhees will beat him out just because if obviously Voorhees technically doesn't have the draft stock because he was drafted late, but he was supposed to, but he fell because of his injury. Yeah, Takeem Das. No, like he's not the major roster. Yeah, center. You got Tyler Linderbaum, one of the top centers of the league. Like you're great there. Like you have no worries about center. Yeah. Behind him, you get Nixon Mack. He's okay. They don't really. They have some big young guys that back up offensive line, but they don't really have anybody like any good backups outside of Bakari and maybe Lalula. Their backup with Carl, we'll just say, because he's young, because he could develop. But other side of that, they don't have a ton. So obviously, hope injuries don't happen, but that does happen. Right guard, you got Ben Cleveland. He's a good guard. Like you're fine with him. Kind of, you got Josh Jones. He was a third round pick in 2020. Yeah, third round pick in 2020. Still relatively young, so he could get better. Like he's a good backup. Like and you never know. He could still develop. He's only 27, which isn't super young, but he's not super old either. Behind him, he got Tayshawn Manning and Darian Dalcourt. They're not going to make the roster. Maybe one of them goes to practice squad just so you have that extra depth on so you have extra line depth on practice squad. Right guard, you got right tackle, excuse me. You got Roger Rosengarten. He's okay. I wasn't super high on him coming out of college at the draft, but they drafted him in the second round, so he'll probably start as a rookie. But yeah, you probably don't want him to start. Maybe, but who knows? Maybe Stanley Falele gets a breakout and he does good. Like he's huge, 6'8", 380. That's huge. Yeah, he is. So he's got the height. He's got the measurables. It's just can he develop and become a good lineman? This is his third year, so it could happen. Then you got Darrell Simpson. He's nothing. He's not gonna make the roster. He might make the practice squad just because like another thing. Yeah, time to go to defense. Not that defensive edge. You're great. Like you're perfectly fine with that. You got Justin Mutabuke. There's a reason you paid him a ton to stay here. And you were going to franchise tag him if he didn't leave, if he didn't sign a contract. So there's a reason you made sure he didn't leave because he's a top, really good player. Yeah. Nose tackle, you got Michael Pierce. He's a good nose tackle, but he's 30. He's gonna be 32 by the end of the season. You need somebody that can replace him soon because I think he only has 1 year left because I think he signed a 3 year deal with them a couple years ago and I think this is his third season since coming back because he originally signed a 3 year deal with the Vikings. He opted out he opted out because of COVID his first year with it, but then he played 1 year. Vikings released him, but I think they signed Ravens brought him back on a 3 year deal. I might be wrong. Behind them, we got Travis Jones. He's a good backup, but like obviously, you don't want most of the time unless Pierce gets injured, you're not going to be playing another nose tackle. You're not going to have to, so you're perfectly fine with that. So you'd rather not have him playing. Behind him, we got Durandron Snett as your third nose tackle. That's pretty good. So yeah, and behind him, we got Josh Tupula. Sorry, don't know how to say that last name. He's most likely not making the roster. Maybe practice squad guy at most. And then the other defensive end, you got Broderick Washington. He's good. He's okay. Like obviously you're really excited that he's not. You'd rather not have him as a number one, but like as your number two, that's fine. So yeah, well, and technically number two because obviously like guys like Adafi away, he's partially an edge rusher, so he'll like pass. He'll go after the quarterback a lot too. So we like Adafi away is kind of your second guy, but like yeah, so Adafi was like as your if you have Adafi away as your second edge rusher, Patrick Washington is your third one. That's great. Like that's good depth at edge. Behind Washington, you got Brent Urban, third/fourth edge. That's pretty. Actually, kind of fifth because David Ojabo is another guy that can be good if he develops because he's still relatively young. He was a relatively high draft pick a couple years ago, so yeah, he's only 24. And he's unbeat. He's not going to turn 25 until next off season. But as Brent Irvin as your like third or like fourth, just fifth guy, that's pretty good. Behind him, we got Trammell, Walthor, and CJ Ravenel. They're not neither. I feel like probably one of them might make the roster. Most likely not. Most one of them probably be practice squad for sure. I feel like. Then at one of the linebackers, you got Daffy away. Just mentioned him. He's a good linebacker. He's a good edge rusher. Like he didn't do as great as he did his rookie year as last year. Like last year, he didn't do as great as he did his rookie year, but he's still good. So yeah. Then behind him, Jabo, like he missed most of his rookie year a couple years ago because he tore his ACL at Michigan's draft thing. Sorry, I can't remember the name of it. Then also got Malik Harrison. Like he might start. Like I feel like he might start between him and Trenton Simpson. Might be a rotation between the two of them if you want Harrison in a linebacker, just because you don't know how Simpson's going to do because he barely played last year because they had Roquan obviously and then Patrick Queen, but Patrick Queen is gone, so they obviously need to replace him somehow. Like and Queen left for the division rival the Steelers, so yeah. And the middle linebacker got Roquan Smith. You're great there. Like he is one of the top middle linebackers in the league. Like him and Fred Warner are the top middle linebackers. Like yeah, like you should have had to give up more than a second round pick a couple years ago to get him. But like the Bears were just getting rid of everybody, and they knew he wanted to sign with them, so they traded him. But he was definitely more than worth than a first round pick in a trade. Like he was definitely worth that top 10 pick back in 2018. And you also got Trenton Simpson, missed a draft pick. Like going into the draft, like recently going like a little bit before the draft, a lot of people were higher on him, so he could be good, but still like he didn't do that great at Clemson like his last year, and he knows because he could have helped, yeah, because Brady seems to always have good middle linebackers, but he never played last year because they never needed him. Behind him, we got John Ross, and he's okay. Like if it's between him and Adiza Isaac no, sorry, Chris Board and John Ross. I was looking to run back up. Chris Board, he's a good third linebacker. Then the other guys at middle linebacker like Josh Wash, Yvonne Rigby, and Deion Jennings. None of them they'll probably not make the roster unless they really want to carry a fourth into your linebacker. But I feel like Harrison can be that. Like Harrison, so I feel like you'll be fine. So I feel like no, those three can make the roster. Then your other outside linebacker, Hanoi, he's decent. Like there's a reason you were wanting to draft the D's Isaac this year because you wanted to give Isaac time to develop for another year, and because Hanoi is not getting any younger, he's getting up. He's in his 30s, so he's not obviously going to play forever. So he can get hopefully Isaac can replace him probably next year. Then you also got Tavius Robinson and it's okay. Probably make the roster or for sure the practice squad. Same with Quincy Roche. Quincy Roche might probably won't make it as much. Like it's probably between him, Tavius Robinson who makes it. I feel like it might be Roche. Corner. Got Marlon Humphrey. Stays healthy. He's a really good corner. He struggled with injuries a lot. This plays pretty good. Then your other line starting corner, you got Brandon Stevens. He's a decent starter, but like Hopefully, you're kind of hoping Wiggins can replace him and be even starter better, because then that could be really good, him and Humphrey, because Wiggins got drafted high for a reason. You also got Jalen Armour Davis. He's okay backup, not that good. Hopefully, he won't be out to start. Then you also got Trayvon Mullen. He's he's bad as a starter, but you're not starting him, so that should be good. Got TJ Jampa, the other rookie. A lot of people are high on him going to drafts. Like, yeah, he should be gear developed, should be good. Then outside linebacker, you have had guys behind them with Kristen Matthew and Kadar Holman. Neither are most likely making the roster. One of them might go practice squad. Nickel back. If you go to nickel, you got Arthur Malott. He's a top nickel back. Like, have him / Wiggins as your third and fourth cornerbacks. Those are pretty good. Then you also got Demario Williams. Okay, yeah, that's about it. Strong safety. The Ravens are loaded. Like, yeah, one of the top strong safeties of Kyle Hampton, if not the top. Like, he's gonna get paid when he's eligible to get paid next offseason. Like, he's gonna get a huge contract. Yeah. Then at free safety, you got Marcus Williams. Like, have him, like, a lot of teams, he mostly would be their number one safety. Like, have him as your number two safety. I know it's like he's still starting, obviously, but still, like, that's pretty good to have your guy like Marcus Williams that's not even your best safety. Behind him, then you got Daryl Worley's okay. They'll probably want to carry four safeties, so it's probably between him and Ardarius Washington and who makes that there. Because Eddie Jackson, like, I'm pretty sure he'll probably make the team because he has struggled these past few years, but he used to be really good. Like, as a Vikings fan, I hate him on me because he was so good for safety. So he could still be good, so he'll probably make the roster. Bo Brady, probably practice squad guy. Sanosi Kane, I don't know who that is, if I'm being honest with you. So he was a 7th round pick. Probably practice squad then. Maybe special team guy. Sorry, I just haven't. I don't know every 200 plus draft picks. Like, that's a lot to know. Special teams, you're doing good. Like, you got top kicker of all time in Justin Tucker. Probably a future Hall of Famer, but it's tough for kickers. Not all kickers are going to make the Hall of Fame. Doesn't matter how good they are. But you're fine there. Same with punter. You're good there. Jordan Sales a good punter. Then at returners, get Deontay Hardy. And Deontay Hardy, like, those are his. Like, if he's, that's probably why he'll make the roster. Like, I will probably make the roster because he still don't have great depth at wide receiver, but like, he don't want to play the wide receiver. Then then you also got Tyler Moss and Justin Hill as your top backups for turners, but who really cares? Then Then you got long snapper. You got Nick Moore and Brandon Plantner. Who cares? Like, they're long snappers. Like, they barely play. Like, they don't even get 10 snaps a game. Like, probably like a little over 10, around 10 snaps a game if they're lucky. Like, yeah. So let's go to Ravens schedule. Week 1, great first game of the regular season. Great matchup versus the Chiefs. That's 50-50 on who wins just because they're so good teams. And also, they got two of the top quarterbacks in the league. But I feel like the Chiefs will probably win it just because they have it at Kansas City, which always helps. Because, like, those are Kansas City and Baltimore are two of the top home field advantages, and this one's at Kansas City. Got the Raiders. That's all will be a win. Like, yeah. Cowboys. That should be a win. Yeah. Got the Bills. I feel like they'll probably win it just because this is still early in the year and the Bills lost a lot. Like, they don't have, even if they used their first pick and ran out, they still lost a guy like Diggs. They lost Davis. Those are two big losses. That's not to be easy to replace. But so I feel like this will be a close one, but I feel like they're going to win that one. We'll probably lose this one to the Bengals because it's in Cincinnati, and your in-division matchups are always the toughest. But I feel like they'll probably split the series with Cincinnati, so they'll probably win the one they face them at home. Got the Commanders. This should be an easy win. Yeah. Got the Bucks. It should be another win, but Bucks probably will put up a fight, especially since it's in Tampa. But Tampa's not them beast because they're Ravens. Like, yeah, got the Browns. It's tough because like it depends on if Watson can finally have a good year with the Browns. But like, just look at what the Browns did with Joe Flacco. So I feel like Stefanski should be able to do something with Deshaun Watson, who should be at this point better than Joe Flacco in their careers. Then you got Denver. That should be another easy win. Like Denver shouldn't be that good this year unless Bo Nix comes out of nowhere. They're I feel like they're no split this season series with Cincinnati, so they'll probably win this one. Steelers, they're not win it. Yeah, like it's probably be a close game because Steelers and Ravens always play close. Feels like doesn't matter who if one team should be way better than another. It feels like they always play close. Got the Chargers. You got the Harbaugh matchup. Ravens should win that one. Yeah. Got the Eagles. We'll see how the Eagles do at this point. They had a big downfall like at the end of the season last year, around this point. So, but they should win that one too. Got the Giants, another win. Yeah. Steelers, another win. Got the Texans. Should be able to win that one, but it's like, but I feel like the Texans are gonna want revenge for that divisional loss against them last year, and it is in Houston. And so yeah, and you got the Browns. Like the most likely will split the series versus the Browns, just because the Browns should be good. Like the Browns didn't lose a ton, and they added a little bit, so we'll see. But yeah, thanks for watching. Have a good one, you guys.